Hey, thanks for joining us today. Dr. Roger here. We're going to talk about food testing, and I actually want to go through an actual food test report. Here's an example of a report of an actual patient. It's a 2-page report, and you'll notice here it's actually a 17-year-old gal, and she came to us with her mom with a kind of an extreme case of eczema. They've tried all the lotions and potions and skin creams and whatnot, but nothing really kind of controlled it. So they went through a different angle, and they thought, well, let's get some food testing done and look at it from an internal standpoint and seeing if we can help, versus an actual external where they're just putting skin lotion on themselves. So basically, an overview of this report. On the far left, we have basically, or excuse me, right here in the middle, we have the foods that we're testing for. And then here we have 3 categories. We have a low, moderate, and avoid. So of the foods that we're testing, the further that line is to the side here, that basically means that you're in that avoid category. If it's in the middle, moderate, and then obviously the low in the blue, that would be what I call your grocery list, is what you're pretty much going to be eating. So when you're in the moderate, like she was for whey protein, pineapple, and green peppers, I say you want to avoid those for 6 months. If you're in the moderate, you're going to avoid those foods for about 3 months. There's a misconception of the test where people think, well, I don't want to take it because I don't want to be told that I can't have a certain food for the rest of my life. That's not the case. Basically, you're going to be avoiding it for that 3 months, for that 6 months, depending on where you test it. In that interim, as you're basically just eating the foods that came up low in the blue, those are the ones you want to stick with. Because in the meantime, we're just trying to see if we can reestablish your immune system, almost like rebooting your immune system. And then at that point, you can reintroduce those foods as you see fit. And if you want to start to reintroduce, cheddar cheese or dairy, anything like that, if you came up high on dairy, if you came up high on gluten. And I thought it was really interesting that, yes, she came up high on whey and some wheat on the moderate scale. It's fairly high. It's close to the avoid for the 6 months, but basically she was in that moderate stage. And then I thought the most interesting thing was here is that she came up high, was the first one, right where my finger is. Those 3 lines there, those are foods that are grapefruit, lemon, and orange. Now, you'd think those fruits and foods are relatively healthy, and they are. Let's face it, who can say the otherwise? But for her, obviously it wasn't. So that's the thing that this test will show you, is certain foods that you just think that just because they're healthy are fine. But obviously in her case, might not be the case. And that might be a potential missing link along with the other foods that she came up positive with, to see if we can try to clear up her eczema even more so. So something else I just want to go through. So these are the dairy. Okay, so for instance, dairy: casein, cheddar cheese, cottage cheese, cow's milk, goat's milk, mozzarella cheese, whey. And then we have our meat category. We have our grains, fish. She came up very, very low on fish. Fish, again, great food. Those are usually fairly low and blue on people. Shellfish, nuts, and on this side here, we got fruits, vegetables, and then our miscellaneous, and then something else here called candida. It's a candida screen. I'm going to get to that in a different video. I think that deserves its own video altogether. So again, just a little overview of what we did here. And if you're at all curious, if you're at all interested, by all means, give our office a call. Be happy to talk to you. If you have any other questions, by all means, like I said, check out our YouTube channel. It's on this link here below. And with that, even you can check out the rest of our Facebook page. We have some other videos there. And thanks for listening again. Really appreciate it. Bye-bye.